Hey y'all, my name's Mackenzie Wheeler and I'm a grad student and I'm going to be talking to y'all today about forage quality and management impact on grazing animals. So, why is this so important? Well, to start off, forage quality equals nutritive value plus intake. So it's totally dependent on what your animal is getting from the forage, like total digestible nutrients, along with how much they're going to consume so you can determine exactly what they're receiving from the forage. Higher quality forage also equals higher production. Your animals are going to get more nutrients out of higher quality and be able to eat more, so their production or performance can increase, whether that be meat production, milk production, or even a horse performing. High quality forage can also cut your feed costs since you may not have the same needs for supplementation as you would with a lower quality forage. So, what can impact forage quality? One of the first things I want to mention is rainfall. The table that I included below shows crude protein content in a forage by date in average rainfall, drought conditions, and wet conditions. It shows that too much rain can actually be just as bad as too little rain, if not almost worse. For example, look at the drought year in July. The crude protein is what you would expect in the fall of an average year, and if you look over at July in a wet year, it's even worse. In drought years, it'll start out similar to average, but it'll go down pretty quickly as the moisture goes away. In wet years, the growth rate will be a lot higher, so you'll have early maturing forages, which then is going to give you the decrease in forage quality. Keeping up with that idea, maturity greatly impacts forage quality. As maturity increases, quality is going to decrease. These graphs just show a little of how, when yield goes up, quality is always going to go down. So in the area where they overlap is your best bet to cut or graze that pasture. The graph on top also shows how the more mature the forage gets, the more lignified and stronger the cell wall becomes, which also drives down your quality. Your protein content, leaves, which is where most of your nutrients are going to be in the first place, digestibility, intake, and minerals all decline with maturity. You never want your forage to reach the reproductive stage of maturity, but grazing or cutting while the forage is not mature enough can actually make your roots die back and kill off your forage completely, which is just as bad, or if not worse, than feeding your animals forage that's too mature. This goes hand in hand with soil management. One way to keep that root dieback from happening with grazing is to implement a rotational grazing system, which can also increase your soil quality as well. Now, should you fertilize? It's kind of like the magical question, specifically with nitrogen. Well, do you have grass mixtures? Legumes can help replenish the nitrogen back into the soil, and if you don't have these mixed in, then your grasses are going to be draining nitrogen out of the soil that needs to be replaced. However, you do need to be careful with nitrogen. Putting too much nitrogen in the soil will lead to it being leached out when it rains, which can be especially harmful if you're near any body of water that the nitrogen could leach into, leading to algae blooms that will actually pull oxygen out of the water and then kill the fish. But the best way to tell if you need to fertilize at all is to do a soil test, since managing your soil properly can increase the nutrients available to your forage, therefore increasing the quality. So, soil sampling. It's a really great way to see exactly what your fields or pastures need in order to thrive, and exactly how much and how often you need to fertilize them to keep that up. But you do have to make sure you get a representative sample. So you need to walk around the field or pasture and take samples, usually in an M formation is good, to make sure you can take samples from different areas in that same field. You need to mix these samples in a bucket, and most extension offices will actually take these samples and send them off to a lab for you, so you don't have to worry about finding a lab for that. But you do need a different test for each pasture to get an accurate result, and ideally it should be repeated at least every 3 years. I have included an example where you can see what is recommended and how much per acre is recommended for this particular sample, just to kind of show you what kind of paper you would be getting back from that. So, why care about forage quality when it comes to cattle? We want high total digestible nutrients. This allows the cattle to pull more nutrients from the forage as well as to eat more. So this can help to maximize their daily gains since they're going to consume more nutrients in theory. This is also going to lower your feed costs because you shouldn't have as high of a need to supplement if the forage is good enough. High forage quality is extremely important right after calving. These cows, especially your dairy cows, are not going to be able to eat enough to keep up with their requirements, so what they are able to consume needs to be really high in nutrients and easy to digest to get it through their system as quickly as possible so they can continue to eat. High forage quality equals better production, whether that means meat or milk. And if you're purchasing from somebody, you always need to run a forage test just so you can make sure it's actually high quality that you're feeding your cattle. What about horses? Most horses can meet their requirements on forage alone. Your lactating mares, young horses, and high-performing horses may need a bit of supplementation, and you should supplement with a good quality hay before you go to supplementing with grain. Horses also need the chewing motion from forage and grazing to produce saliva and release bicarbonate that will act as buffers to prevent ulcers. Since the horses have a continuous acid release, this is really important. Horses don't digest forages as well as cattle do, since their fermentation happens in their cecum, which is so far in the hindgut. This means that they don't get as much out of their forage, which makes a higher quality forage even more important, so that they're able to get as much as possible from the fermentation process. You also want a high lysine content since it is an essential amino acid for horses, and so with this, along with other needs, a trace mineral block is usually necessary. Can lower quality forage ever be beneficial? The short answer is it depends on the situation. Look at the two horses I have pictured. The one on top is obese, the one on the bottom is very fit and looks to be at a high level of performance. That horse on top does not need the quality and the nutrients that the horse on the bottom does. It may actually benefit from a lower quality forage. It can still get the chewing motion to prevent the ulcers, but it's not getting the same nutrients, which in this case may be a good thing. Then what about your dry cows? Dry cows do not have the same requirements as a lactating cow, so you can get by with a lower quality forage that may actually save you some money. In conclusion, forage quality and the management that goes into keeping forage quality high have a big impact on grazing animals. We generally want our forage quality high to get the best out of our animals, whether that be beef, dairy, or even our horses. And then these are my sources. Thank you.